Tim's kinda dumb, let's help him get smart. It's time to teach Tim stuff. Hey, welcome to Time to Teach Tim Stuff. We got Conor Holtz in the house, and he is teaching me today
about being disabled.
Yes. So now I know almost nothing about your life story.
Well, it starts in high school.
Yeah.
I started walking with a limp during high school, and my parents were like, oh, whatever. And then it kept going.
Yeah.
Then, like, by sophomore year, actually, probably junior, a nickname arrived for me. So people started calling me the Gangster Lean. And that was one of the first nicknames for me. And I kind of just started using it because I was like, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I've been called a lot worse. So
yeah, and so I'm like, fine, call me that. So by August, so by like senior year, I was still not known as being disabled. Actually, through my first year of Brookdale, still not known as disabled, but then like November 21st, 2014, the day Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 came out, I went to go see the movie at midnight with a few friends. Next day I had a spinal tap.
Oh.
And if you don't know what a spinal tap is, it just means that someone puts a needle in your back and takes out liquid.
Yeah.
And it hurts like a bitch. But, also, am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
Okay. And, so the nurse the doctor, it was a woman doctor, because respect. And she came up to me when I was on the table and didn't have my shirt on, and before she did anything, she was like, "Do you mind if I have a class come in to show them what I'm doing?" I was like, "You know what? I've been watching Scrubs, so yes." And she goes, "You want to know something about Scrubs?" I was like, "Surely." And she goes, "Scrubs is the most accurate show out there about being a doctor." I was like,
"Huh?"
I was like, "No way." She goes, "Yeah." Then she stuck a needle in me. Then go.
So you're about how old? Like 19?
I'm 25.
No. Then.
Oh,
yeah.
19, 20.
All right.
But so I didn't. So whatever they were looking for then, nothing. Then May 1st, 2015, the day Avengers Age of Ultron came out, I went in for a test for MS. I got confirmation from the doctor that day that I didn't have MS. So then a few years passed and nothing really came up. Then there were points where the doctors were like, "We don't have anything else." But the day Star Wars Episode 7 came out, I was at the doctor's, and they said there's one last test we could try. My dad asked him to try it before they even brought it up.
Okay.
But they didn't want to because they thought it wouldn't come up with anything.
Yeah.
So I did the blood work, got it done. It didn't come in until, so I wanted to go see Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
I do, me too.
Star Wars.
Well,
Star Wars is my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie series.
Yeah.
Then July 14th, 2017, I had a doctor's appointment the day War of the Planet of the Apes came out, the new one.
Yeah.
One of the best movies ever.
Really?
I loved it. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it since because I haven't gotten around to it. And when I watch movies like in somewhere cold, I feel cold personally.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like doing that to myself.
Yeah.
But so I went with my friend Jordan Clemens, and we watched it the night before I went to the doctor's. The next day, I got called out. I went to the doctor's, and she told me I was disabled.
Did they have a diagnosis for you at all?
Yeah, spastica plegia 13, I think, 13 or 12. They have numbers, but the numbers just mean so little. It just means like, oh, you have just this little thing. But
yeah.
So mainly, I only asked her 1 or 2 questions that night, that day, and I was like, am I going to be in a wheelchair? And she was like, it's a possibility. And she was like, any more questions? So I was like, no. Because let me tell you, if I become Professor X out of all this, I will become Professor X. I can get a bunch of orphan kids to be my mutants and then do nothing. Shave my head like once, because it would be the best thing in the world. But that night I went out. So that night I went out with a friend who was like, who took me out, and I told him about like the diagnosis and everything, and we went out for drinks. To be honest, I don't drink anymore because of my disability, and the person saw that we were so happy that the bartender was like, "Why are you here?" Like, she was like, what are you so happy about? I was like, I'm disabled. She looked at me. She looked at me straight in the face and was like, "Why are you happy?"
Yeah.
I was like, because I have an answer for something that I've been not really looking for, but it's good. It's a good thing to know.
Yeah, because at that point, that's what, like almost 7 years.
So when I was told about when I was diagnosed, they told me I have a gene in my body that didn't manifest till high school. So I've been disabled all my life, but I was not really disabled.
Yeah, because the gene wasn't expressive.
Yeah. So I was like, and I couldn't just, I thought it was like, cool. I was like, whatever.
Well, like, that's the thing, like, having an answer. Like, we spoke a little bit off air or whatever.
Yeah.
My sister, she, in high school it started, she had mono. I don't know how much she wants me to talk about her, but sorry.
You don't have to. You don't have to talk about her, because I understand it's someone else. It's their story to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not anyone else's.
But I mean, she's been since high school. She's 20. How old am I? I'm 30. So she's 28, and she doesn't have an answer. They have no answer for her.
Yeah,
that's so frustrating, because I see that with her.
Yeah.
So I can understand celebrating the answer.
Yeah, that was the thing, because one, I never really wanted to know the answer, because I just wanted to keep going with my life.
Yeah.
But it's cool that I know, and I also asked this other question when I was diagnosed. I was like, is this gonna happen if I have kids? Because and to be honest, I want 13 kids. I want a cheaper by the dozen situation. Yeah. and you might think, oh, that's really expensive. Well, I'll marry up, and I have no problem doing that. I have no problem admitting that. And
and once you get the Professor X thing going, I mean, you're just gonna be rolling in money.
Yeah. But so the doctor told me that there is a way to extract the gene from the child's body so young.
Like a CRISPR kind of situation.
Yeah, I was like, one, I would never want my child to go through that. To be honest, I would never want my child to go through any of this. So it's either 13 children, or I'm going with none.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with going with none because I have two nieces and a nephew right now. Two of them I have yet to meet because of COVID.
Yeah.
But supposedly my cousin's husband has been telling me, "Oh, Michael is you," and I don't like it. I was like, perfect.
Attitude wise?
No. No, when the older sister is like 2 years older, 3 years older at most, and she watches Disney Plus. Michael just sits there and stares at the TV. I'm like, good. Give him something to do.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I do know about you is you love movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I have never heard somebody speak so extensively. And I mean, like, I know, like, quote unquote film buffs, but you see everything.
Yeah. I saw Mortal Kombat last night.
Yeah? How was it?
It sucked.
Exactly how I expected.
It wasn't even like I understand the story of Mortal Kombat. Like there was like a competition. There wasn't even that. And I was like, this isn't worth it. but I was like it was cool to see other people getting spots to show their roles. Like my favorite show from the last year or two is Warrior on HBO Max.
I don't know that show.
It's like Sopranos, but with karate.
All right.
And it's mainly a full Asian cast with a few Irish people set in the mid 1800s. And it's just all out war, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. See, like, I think because I didn't grow up with cable. Like, I grew up with the 7 channels. I grew up 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 until 9/11 happened because that took out the satellites. We had to buy cable.
Yeah.
TV just doesn't capture my brain in that way. Like I get addicted to some stuff, but like usually it's like Breaking Bad or something. Yeah. It's like
no, but for me, movies and television pretty much saved me.
Yeah,
it's the one thing. Like I saw Star Wars when I was going to the doctors.
Yeah.
Star Wars, and like I have no problem saying this. I'm a nerd, and I love it. I have an interview with the library this week for a job, and
that'd be sick.
And I'm like, and I'm like, I don't care. It's I go to the library twice a week at most, at least.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever. That's but like
so it's like I'm here, hire me.
Yeah. And I've probably watched at least 3 to 7 movies a week.
Yeah.
Cuz it's like that's what I want to go into, but I need to learn.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to learn besides to study the craft.
Yeah. And like cinematography is something that always blows my mind. How the director sees it in his head and then translates it.
Yeah, like I'll give Mortal Kombat. It was at least beautiful to watch, but it was still Mortal Kombat.
When I saw the first commercial for that, and it was only like a week ago that I saw it, I was like, "They're doing this again."
I understand why they're doing it again, but it's like, and like the ending of the movie, they showed they showed a poster with Johnny Cage on it. I was like, and they even show his face. I'm like, oh, you guys are slick. You guys know how to teach us.
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing too. Like if they want to do more movies, they almost have to hold back. They can't.
Yeah. But I like the MCU is probably my favorite. Probably my favorite way to tell a story.
Maybe I didn't catch that then. With MCU?
The MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All right.
Because they're all different. They're all just different chapters of different stories that connect.
Yeah.
Like I've been writing three. It begins. I have a story that begins in like ancient Rome that goes to now. I'm like I know exactly where I want to go with it, and I know exactly how to go there. I'm just like this isn't gonna be good enough for people. This is gonna be too big of a topic to even like I've been thinking because I'm working on it as a TV show because I'm like I can get more episodes in and get a bigger season.
Yeah.
But I've been watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
All right.
That show has been tackling everything. They're like ways it tackled. Money tackled. And like they made yesterday, spoiler if you're watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, they made Falcon Captain America.
Yes, I did hear about this.
And it was the coolest thing ever. Cause I'm not going to say I'm a black person. I'm not. If you can look at me, I'm the whitest person in the world. But I'm not. I haven't fought their fight yet, and I probably never will. But being disabled, I'm part of a group of people that doesn't get enough. That doesn't get shown enough.
Yeah.
And like I've been on Hinge, and I've had girls come in and just first question, why do you walk with a cane?
Yeah, because I'll speak for my sister again too. It becomes the leading.
Yeah,
it's like you're like I hate it. People think it's a personality trait.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not gonna get to know me before I tell you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just like, and like sometimes I tell them, or I just I'm at them. I'm like, you're not worth it.
Yeah. Because do you ever think that maybe it's just someone not knowing how to start? Like, because to be honest with you, like sitting down, like I was nervous. I was like, am I gonna say some fucked up shit like that I don't even know is fucked up? You know what I mean?
No, I get that. Like, and trust me, I lived long enough to know that everyone's not going to have a realization of like, okay, how do I talk to this person? And like, at least you're talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like that's better than anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why? Like I had a professor. My first class at Rowan University. I was a transfer from Brookdale, and he when we were doing orientation, he called my name and I said here, and he asked me. He looked at me because he saw that I was disabled. He was like, I have a question. I was like, go. And he was like, do you mind if I make a joke about your disability? And I was like, I'd never had someone up front ever ask me that.
Yeah.
Plus, I was only disabled for a year or two. So, but I was like, you know what? And I was like, let's see what you got. and then we just became good. Then like me and him just became okay with each other.
Yeah.
Because like if I was late to class, which I probably never was, because it was a 7 a.m. class, so I had to wake up.
Oh yeah, I hated 7 a.m.
Or it was an 8 a.m. class. I had to wake up at 7. But
yeah.
I was like, what? But he was cool enough, and the teachers at Rowan were the ones that got me into comedy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because they were like, you're so, because I remember talking to one teacher, and I was like, and he was like, what? He was like, and like he asked me because it was the semester before I left, and he was like, what are you gonna do with your life? Like, what's the plan? I was like, I don't have one. He goes. I was like, I'll make money. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? He goes, you remind me of a student that we had a few years ago. Worst kid in the world. But you and him were the same kid. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I asked him, like, where is he now? And he goes, oh, he's probably the most successful student that we've ever had. And I go, how? He goes, oh, he married up. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, he went to the city, found a doctor, married her, barely works. His wife works every day. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want. That is what I want to do. And I know how bad that looks on me, but it makes sense. It makes total sense.
We went to, my cousin got married recently. We went to the wedding, and my parents are like, when you gonna get married? When you gonna start dating?
Yeah.
I was like, I have to find somebody rich enough to support me.
That my parents don't really care about that with me because they know that I'm fighting a different, that I'm working on something else right now. I'm working on me.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls have asked me, have you ever had a girlfriend? I'm like, no. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because you already asked if I'm disabled. So I don't understand where you are lost in this question.
Yeah.
Because I'm working on myself to make sure, and most of them go, yeah, but it's not just your stuff to bury, to your stuff to carry.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but I will make it my stuff. I don't want, to be honest with you, I'm the type of person, I don't ask for help. I will deal with my problems and never put it on anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel that you have to you have to accept your I don't want to call it burden. I see, that's the thing.
It is a burden. It's okay to call it a burden because like I said before we start on the mics, this might be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to speak of it. When you said that, I stopped you because I was like, I don't understand that, and I want to dig into that.
Okay. I was always the type of kid, if you told me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. So you're telling me, oh, I'm disabled, I can't run? I will find a way to run, which I've yet to accomplish yet, which I don't think I'm ever going to, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. But
the drive.
Yeah, I drove here.
No, I meant the motivation, the physical, or the
I've been doing stand up because of one story, which I will get into later if we get to that. but my dad last week, can't believe I'm telling you anyone this, but last week, my dad came up to me and was like, I'm proud of you. And let me tell you, my dad has never said this to me. But he went on to say he's proud of me because I would go to the library. I go to the movies. I'm looking, and he stops there. I laugh at him. I'm like, okay, rewind that. And what you just said.
Yeah,
you got to do better than going to the movies. I just go there to sit. but I understand where he was going, because he was like, you're better, you're okay with being disabled. And I'm like, yeah, to be honest with you, I don't care about my disability. I will go anywhere. I knew I had a feeling I was gonna have to walk downstairs today, and I was okay with that. That's why I'm here, because someone had to talk about being disabled.
Yeah. And again, I'm so glad that when you first posted on the Instagram story. So if anyone's not following, so I posted, hey, who wants to teach me about something? I'll learn anything. And then you posted me, someone should teach you how to be disabled.
Yeah.
I dropped dead laughing.
Yeah, I realize how strange that is, but like just to know like what it feels
What
like.
it's like, yeah.
Cause to be honest, I have the best parking ever. I have a pass to park anywhere.
Yeah.
And like you can't really do anything. Also, I have the power to get medical marijuana if I want it.
Yep.
And able to pay for it because I'm not really going to pay $200 anymore. But
yeah. So like I died laughing because I know like that's your sense of humor too. Like you have like a kind of dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
But then I realized too, like, I don't know what life is like in your perspective.
Yeah.
Like I have my sister and she kind of teaches me a little bit.
But you say it yourself, you don't know what life is like for me.
Yeah.
But you don't know what life is like for your sister either. That's the thing. Cause I might be one person that might be okay with this, with being disabled, but I can tell you other people aren't.
Yeah.
Other people are worse off than me. And I feel bad, and I feel for them. I might not go through what you're going through, but I know what I might have a better idea, and I'm okay. And if they need help, I'm there.
Yeah, and that's like one of the ways. So like I'm ex-alcoholic, whatever. One of the ways they teach you to get over that is to help people.
Yeah, and like to be honest, I never knew about that until stand up.
Yeah.
And to be honest with him, that amazed me.
Really?
Yeah, because I only went to do stand up because I talk too much, and I need something. And like Lex said, I suck. And to be honest with me, that was the funniest thing that happened that night. I have no problem with Dweck. Yeah. And I haven't seen him in a while, and I hope Dweck is okay.
Yeah.
But he's not. But he was right. I don't write anything. Yeah. Because everything that happens to me is ridiculous to begin with. Like the reason I got into stand up, the first story I ever told was the day I told my grandma I had sex with her friend's granddaughter.
All right.
And trust me, this conversation, you probably thought it took 5 minutes. It took 30, if anything. And you want to know something else? My cousin's fiance had to come in and help me with it.
Wait.
So me and my grandma were talking. I came out with it. Then my cousin's fiance overheard us. Actually, my cousin's husband at this point in time. Well, right now he is her husband, but at the point he was just a boyfriend. But he came up to me and was like, he was like, what the hell are you guys talking? And I was like, oh, I'm telling grandma that I had sex with her friend's granddaughter. I haven't really spoken to the girl since, but.
Well, have you spoken to her grandma since? Or?
No. I've spoken to my grandma, but
I mean, I don't know, like how much you want to get into, like, as far as so, like when you were a kid, like full range motion and everything.
When I was a kid, I played every sport.
Yeah,
every sport. I was actually like what kept us from doing this for so long was lacrosse practice, but in COVID times you can't really do that. You can't really do a sport with kids because if one kid gets it, you have to shut down the whole team.
Yeah.
So which was surprisingly because like I talked to my cousin who plays lacrosse for Monmouth University, and she would and this is the only time I ever see the coach is at funerals, and it was my grandma's funeral. He came up to me and was like, "I have to ask you a question." I was like, "Sure." He goes, "I need you to come back to coach with me. It's my last season." And I was like, and his wife came up immediately after he left and was like, "I know you. I know what you want to say to him, but I know what you feel that you don't want to do it." And she was like, "You don't have to do it." So that weekend I was at my aunt's house and I was talking to my cousin about it, and she plays lacrosse for Monmouth, and she goes, "Oh, you don't want to do that, do you?" I'm like, "No, I don't." But I ended up saying yes. I ended up saying sure.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Well, also you're a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just like, I haven't played the game in 8 years. I haven't played the game 8 to 10 years. It like everything's out of my range, like of thinking of like how to play the game. So I showed up to practice one time. The coach never texted me saying practice was canceled because a kid got COVID.
Jesus.
Then he was like, then I found out. Then I was talking to one of the main coaches, and then the main coach was like, "Yeah, so we might be teaming up with Monmouth with Manalapan to play."
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough kids and they don't have enough kids. That fell through.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit again. So they were like, "We're not playing." Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, COVID's ruined like everything. Like, yeah, even like I play hockey, my hockey leagues, there's all these weird rules, and we're kind of playing, but also like at any point they can just be like, no game today. Mm-hmm. One of the kids from the high school team had COVID and the building shut for a week.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But
as much as you say you hate COVID, I love it. Like, I was born for COVID because the amount of movies I watched, the amount of TV shows I watched, the amount of writing I got. I probably wrote 6 short stories in the matter of 2 months.
Really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And most of them were crap. Besides one.
Yeah. But that's what you got to do with writing. You got to write out the crap in order to get to the good stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, oh god, and right now, I love going to movies. Movies are empty as well. Yesterday, Mortal Kombat was somewhat full, but like the movie theater near me, always empty.
Yeah.
So I can go see a movie, and I went to go see Star Wars Episode 5.
Episode 5, that's the...
Empire Strikes Back. And when it was in theaters, because it missed its birthday release, and
right, yeah.
So it was like a $5 movie. I was the only person in the theater.
Really?
And I kept my mask on the whole time because I was like, my mask keep my mouth warm.
Yeah.
Let's keep my mouth warm.
And you're saying when you watch cold movies in cold places, you get cold. So the whole opening scene is like, ugh.
Yeah. I'm like I love Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. I've only seen episode 4. Episode 4 and then episode 7, 8, and 9 in theaters. I want the full, I guess it's a trilogy of trilogies. Yeah. But that and Rogue One I saw in theaters, which I think...
Rogue One is my favorite.
It's the best one.
Actually, I have to say, episode 8, as much as hate that movie gets, I think it's the most beautiful movie out of all.
Yeah. It's honestly, like, people talk shit about the prequels and the sequels.
I like them.
I like them all.
When I watch them, I can see how bad they are, but they set up. There's the setup.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Yeah. Also, like, good luck. You have this established 3 classic movies. Good luck writing a prequel and a sequel to them. I think they did the best they could have.
Yeah. Plus, you have to look at like because I read the first episode 9 movie that was supposed to be made, like the one with the Jurassic World director.
Who is that?
I don't really.
I don't know.
He was supposed to direct the 9th movie before Johnson came in and destroyed the fandom.
Yeah.
I read the 9th movie script. I cried more at that than I did the movie.
Really?
That script is that script is so good for a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It was like I keep it on my laptop, so like if I want to read it, I have it.
I feel like with episode 9, they were kind of like, how can we write this movie to where we don't completely lose everybody and still can make movies going forward?
I think it was just because they were like, oh, we have to make a different movie. We have to make a sequel to 8 to 7. But retract everything from 8.
Yeah.
And I was like that's your worst decision. Because you could just keep going.
Yeah.
Because episode 8 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Some jokes didn't land, but cool.
Yeah.
Not all jokes land.
Yeah. But like Rogue One, I think is probably the best Star Wars movie. I can only imagine what it was like seeing Star Wars in the 70s.
Yeah.
But to see Rogue One, because it was like, it wasn't part of the story. It was detached from the story. Yeah. It was all new characters.
Yeah.
It was.
That's what I love. That's what I love about. That's like I have problems with Mandalorian, but like my problems are that I love the fact that they're going outside the universe.
Yeah. Well,
not outside the universe, but outside like the original stories to tell their story, and I love that.
Yeah.
But like just some little details, I was just like, okay, that could be done better.
Yeah.
But the new Harry Potter movie, the new Harry Potter shows, like HBO Max came out and like, oh yeah, we're gonna make Harry Potter shows. And like I understand that. I'm actually really reading the first book right now. Mm-hmm. I have 5 more chapters. Well, not 5, but I have like 10 more chapters and I'm done, which will be done tomorrow. But I don't want them to be I don't want them to retell a story.
Yeah.
I don't like
the universe is rich for other stories. Yeah.
Like you just said, you like Game of Thrones. I don't know how you feel about the 8th season.
So I didn't actually watch the 8th season. I think I watched the first 3 seasons, and then I've not watched since. I think I made it to the 3rd season. Yeah.
The 4th season is good. Like the fourth season could be the best season.
All right.
But like season 8, like it wasn't our story to tell. That like the biggest problem I have with people is complaining about a story that they aren't telling.
Yeah.
They're not being paid to tell the story, so who cares about what your ideas are? Like I love that because I like. Can I spoil it or you?
No, yeah, spoil it. Everybody has.
Okay. So Bran becomes the king of Westeros. Mm. That might be the best thing that happened in the story, because if you look at it, he knows the past, he knows the future, he knows the present, he knows everything that will ever happen.
Yeah, true.
He is the best choice for a king. Plus, he can't bear kids, which means that the next king has to be as good as him.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that. That like the family lineage.
Yeah, and like in a family lineage, like your father taught you something, and you have to, and like then that's all you know.
Yeah.
But this kid knows everything, so he knows how to handle everything.
Yeah.
Which is why I love that show.
Yeah.
Plus, I do have a jacket from the set of Game of Thrones.
That's right.
So when we were doing a fundraiser for the it was a telethon for a rowing club, and I went, and like the person and the telethon was about had a participant with kids with autism, and the director of the company said something, and I found her, and I said thank you, because she said something that I could relate to, and me and her started talking, and she was like oh, and I was like yeah, and she said, oh, do you like Game of Thrones? I was like, yeah, who doesn't? And she was like, oh, my husband works on the show. He's one of the high ups at the show.
Crazy.
And I was like, oh, what job? And she goes, lighting. He's. So I was like, oh, that is awesome. And she was like, what's your email? And I was like, it was either email or name, I forget. But I gave her them. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm gonna send you something, and I was like, okay, without thinking about what she was. I totally forgot. I totally forgot a week or two later, and I'm in the editing bay, editing my project, which was crap to begin with, and it was a Marvel project too, but. So a line of people walk in my room. It felt like it was like TGI Fridays. Them singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
And the president that was going a girl that was going to become president for the next year gave me the jacket, and I was like, "What is this?" She goes, She was like, "I don't know. So and so sent it. Want you to have it." I looked inside. The tag read Game of Thrones. Every person on set got one, and then a few weeks later, it was I follow one of a few people from rowing worked on the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
So the guy from Rona, I started following on Instagram, and I messaged him about something. I messaged him saying congrats for season 8.
Yeah.
And he messaged me back, and I was like, how did you get that jacket? He was like, no one outside that show can get that jacket. I was like, I know someone.
Yeah. And I know people.
And she was like, and he was like, that's so. And he was like, oh. Really? I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh.
That's rad. That's real rad.
Yeah. And that jacket's still in my closet. I haven't not worn that. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
I probably never going to.
Yeah. So what do you write? Do you write mostly you said you were working on a project spanning from Roman times to now. You said you see it as a TV show.
Yeah. So I'm writing different TV Bibles to just connect them all together. I finished the Gladiator one, well, the Assassin one, but I'm thinking, but now it was 4 seasons. It came out to 40 pages ish, and now I'm working on the third chapter of the show, which is 2 seasons, which I never want to put myself in a show, but my professor, it was a project for class, so I had we needed to work on TV Bibles in class, so he made me put a disabled person as the lead role. As a spy, I'm like, that will never work. And I was like, unless I give him superpowers, I would never want to. Because I find.
So you say you also write MCU stuff though? No. Okay, all right.
No. I will never put any I look at superheroes as like, have you ever watched the Watchmen show on HBO? One of the best shows in the world.
You're gonna hate me, but I superhero stuff I just don't get into.
That's okay, because I have such, because MCU might be the only thing I actually like out of superheroes, but because they deal with real world issues.
Yeah.
But like DC, it's just not like I need, like, have you ever seen the movie Chronicle? It came out in 2011 or 2012. It had Michael B. Jordan.
No, then because I'm thinking Chronicle of Riddick.
No.
No.
So it was like a low budget film of where the three high school kids get superpowers, and it's
I
dark.
remembered the commercial.
Yeah. That's the type of, I want my show to be dark. Because I want it to be in the real world. I don't want I don't want it to be set in a world where, like, oh, this guy's gonna go away. No, he's either going to die or he's going to either get punched to the point of him not being able to come back.
Yeah, real life.
Yeah, so the first story, but like each story will intersect with each other, because so the first story is Assassins, which I only made that story because I'm bringing it, because I have it as a book in the second story.
All right.
So is it real? Like, are these people really? Are there a group of assassins out there that actually just become just assassins? And you find out in the second story. Then third story. It's just a lot. Like,
yeah. This is the one thing. So I've been working with Carl Callan on a Balls project. Oh, Carl Callan, check out he just put an album out on Spotify. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry, Carl, but check it out. I never realized that, like, telling the story is so complicated.
Yeah. Like, you need to think about every little detail before you even put it down.
Yeah. Because, like, we have this thing, so this guy's murdered. So then we're setting this in the future from that. So now all of a sudden we need to know, like, the date, the gun, where he was killed.
Yeah. You need to know you need to be so specific.
And that's just for the most basic interview.
Yeah.
Where, like, if somebody says, like, oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that, and they need to have the fact right.
Yeah, that is my favorite thing about telling a story, because you have to get so specific with it. But when it's all over, when you're done writing, it's cool to look back at.
Yeah. It's world building. A lot of people call it.
Yeah, because I look at the Marvel MCU as a world, as them building the world out to the point of, like, okay, I would live in this world at any point. And Lord of the Rings, anything.
Yeah, and, like, Lord of the Rings, that's another one where I'm so bad with movies where, like, I watched the first two and was like, all right, I kind of get it. He's gonna eventually toss the ring in the thing, and they'll be.
Return of the King is probably the best one.
All right, I'll actually sit down and watch it. This is
it's super long though.
Yeah,
it's like 3 hours. Like I watched it the first time a few years ago. Then my cousin wanted to go see the first one. The trilogy came back into theaters.
Yeah.
Sorry. Came back into theaters this year. So me and my cousin caught the first one.
All right.
So I was like, I guess I'm gonna need to rewatch the other two this weekend, which I have no problem doing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, especially from your perspective, where you're cutting out, like, oh, isn't that an interesting twist? How can I adapt that into something that I'm doing?
Yeah, and like, yeah, I watch really dumb stuff sometimes, but I watch some really good stuff. My cousin Megan, she got me. She was like, you should watch Dawson Creek. You laugh now. That show is the most ridiculous show in the world. It's so bad, but it's so amazing.
Yeah, the character development in it is beautiful. And it hooks you every episode.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Exactly, you don't know why.
But there was one story that I actually watched the season finale last week or Wednesday, but I cried a lot during the series finale. I was like, this is beautiful. But there was one story that actually talked to me. It actually was like, okay, this if I was going to be in any storyline, this would be it. It was one where Dawson is helping the old guy, and the old guy's helping him make a movie. Season 4. The old guy's like some like old director, and I'm like, okay, this is the coolest thing. Then he's old and like he's going to die. That's how it made me feel like I'm not old, but I could see that me and him were more similar than I was to Dawson.
Yeah.
Dawson is good looking.
You're good looking. You kidding me? Look at that strong chin line. He's got the strongest chin line. I want to plug your Hinge, by the way. Ladies, hit him up. No, but I get what you're saying. When you find that one story that really...
Yeah.
Because it's rare. I mean, TV writers try to do that, to broaden characters, to make them appeal to every... Like, that's the Dawson. But then... there are the side characters that apply specifically.
Yeah, Pacey might be the best character of the show.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's the most real person.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, we have dreams, but we're not as dumb as Dawson. Plus Pacey, I'm like, Pacey has problems.
Yeah.
Problems that I would have if I was a normal kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I don't know, a lot of the shows from that era, like that was like my high school era.
Yeah.
Maybe a little before that, but like that was when you got like the Seventh Heaven, where they're like, should we touch upon problems? And they're like, one episode, the kid, and then he's fixed.
Yeah, I'm like, but that show felt like it meant something to people.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, it's the reason that we're talking about it now.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to bring up Dawson's Creek. Watch Dawson's Creek.
Yes. People.
On Netflix. 6 seasons.
Yeah.
It probably would have worked better as 13 episode season.
Yeah.
Than 21 season.
Yeah, but I mean, that was the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
They were like, we have so much time to do TV.
I'm like,
Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanted to touch on we missed?
If you literally ask any question,
I mean, see, this might sound a little weird, but this is exactly what I wanted this to be. Because I was so worried that you're going to come in and be like, oh, this is rough about being disabled. I missed this. And I was like, that's so not who you are. You're you. And I wanted you to be you. And I'm so...
No, like I remember going to the night before Thanksgiving, a huge bar night, right?
Yeah.
I remember going to the bar a few years, like 2 years back, and I had to drop I always drop my cousin home that night, and like I have no problem doing that. But some girls I haven't seen since high school, when I was able-bodied. They come up to me and look at me and like don't want to say anything but want to say something. And they just come up to me and then one girl came up to me and asked, "Are you okay?" I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, and I looked at the person. I was like, I was actually talking to someone at this point. Yeah. And I turned to the person. And I was like, and he was like, "This is you." I was like, "Oh, thanks," but I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And like I was like I was like, I knew that I couldn't really get into it with. I knew that I had to.
Yeah.
I had to work around the situation to talk to her.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to flat out say, "No, my life isn't fine. Like, I'm disabled." Like, you don't know how many people look at me and think, and like, to be honest, that girl. So I worked around the conversation, but I've been at jobs where people came up to me and was like, "Oh, I have a doctor." People come up to me and tell me they have doctors that can fix me. I'm like, dude, Christ. Do you think I want to get fixed? I'm like, I don't ever want to get fixed.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, my dad has asked me, if, like, because like conversation was brought up and like it was during an argument and he said something about me being able to be fixed, and I was like, okay, let's not say fixed. it means something like oh, I'm broken. No, yeah, I am broken because I have no money, but that's not the problem. Yeah. But I'm just like, I'll move on. Like life is whatever hits you, move on.
Yeah,
and I hate I don't hate my life. I love my life. I have 30 plus cousins, and I talk to most of them every day. I actually just got a text message from one of my cousins because we were going to watch Handmaid's Tale next weekend, and she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that." So I'm just like,
yeah, that's the thing. Like I get mad when people think that anybody is defined by one thing about them. Nobody. There's nobody I've ever met who's like, "Oh, he plays basketball. He's a basketball player. Everything about his life is basketball." Because it's fucking not. Like,
no. But like you put me in a lineup and you go, "Oh, who graduated college?" No one's going to just say me.
I don't know. I would say you, but I know you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you put me in high school in a lineup and ask anyone if I ever graduated college, they'll say probably. Hopefully he did. but I have people that, like, every so often just come up and just like my family's better now because like I've been around them longer with it, but I'm just like my big family, but like my parents don't even know I'm here. I just told my mom I had to do something with a friend.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, okay." And didn't mind. But I was like, but I just want to help someone. Like, I know that like there are people that are disabled. I don't know if any other disabled person listens to your podcast.
I don't know either.
but if this is out in the ether, that means someone could find it.
Exactly.
And with me, I'm going to blast it because it's who I am. Yeah. And a lot of people, some people call me like selfish. I've been called selfish. I'm like, You don't know me. Cause literally, I don't do anything for myself at all. Literally, I read a book. I read 5 chapters of a book a day.
Oh wow!
And then I read probably 2 or 3 volumes of comics a day because I have nothing better to do. Yeah. And like the people, I come off as a little selfish with like how I act, but that's because it's funny. It's funny to do that.
Yeah, that and it's you. Like I can imagine that was you before everything too. Do you feel like? Actually, that's a good question. Do you feel like this has changed you in any emotional or mental way as well?
I cry at every movie I watch.
Really? So it's kind of opened you up more.
My emotions are there, and like you could see them. Like I said, I cried at Dawson's Creek. Who would do it? Like I cried at Dawson's Creek. I cried yesterday at Falcon and Winter Soldier because I saw a black man become Captain America.
Yeah,
which was the coolest thing in the world. But my emotions have changed, and like I've handled it perfectly. Yeah. My dad told me I was proud. I laughed at him. But my emotions are a little out there, but it works.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like, because I know, like my sister had a hard time at first, but now, she is. Yeah. she's great.
She's living with it.
Yeah.
And I understand. My sister has the same disease, but I don't want to talk about her because I don't want her.
Because you're not her.
Yeah, I don't want to tell her story.
Yeah.
But she's not doing as well as me. But I'm the dumbest. I am an idiot when it comes to anything. So you could do anything, and I'll be an idiot and go with it.
Yeah.
Like I asked if I was gonna be in a wheelchair. First thought, I'll be Professor X. Nothing else. Like I didn't care.
Yeah. Do you think that comes from just your mindset, or do you think that comes from just like over time?
Before I was disabled, I'm okay with saying disabled. Yes. I was always okay. I was okay with anything. I was okay with because I had friends that were other races than me. Like I don't care about who I'm friends with.
Yeah. But friends with people.
Yeah. It doesn't matter
characteristics.
Who. Yeah. But time has helped with me taking control of me. Because I wouldn't be on Hinge if I wasn't okay with me.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be. If I wasn't okay, I wouldn't say I was okay.
Yeah.
So everything I'm saying has to be true.
Yeah. And that's the one thing. The only way we can learn anything is through talking with people, and that's why I'm so glad that you came on. And honestly, when you posted that, I died laughing, and then you deleted it, and then I was like, but I actually do want to talk to him about this.
No, I might have deleted it because I'd rather go through you personally. And plus, I just didn't know how that would look for other people. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I've walked places where people have looked at me and asked me if I need help.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in front of you. I'm not behind you.
Yeah.
I don't need your help. I'm literally in front of you.
Do you need help?
Yeah. I'm like, I remember a girl at college. I was walking in front of her. She came up to me. She was a very beautiful girl. I will give her that. And she came up to me and was like, "Oh, do you need help?" I'm like, "Girl, who are you?" And like, not even saying her name, I was like, "No, I'm okay."
All right, so this is actually a question I have. Is that the wrong thing? Is it the wrong thing, do you think, to offer you help? Or how is the proper way to go about that? Or do we just not offer help?
Okay, so that's a tricky question for me because I look at it as that is not just a question to me. That's a question to everyone that needs help.
Right. Yeah.
So me personally, I walked down the stairs with a little help from you, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I know where my boundaries are. I know how far I can go with something.
Yeah.
Before I need help. And if it's someone random, I would be polite and tell them, "No, it's okay. I'm fine. You can go on with your day." But if it's someone annoying that just comes up to me and like they see I'm disabled and they're, "Oh my God, I need to help him," or it's going to be their one act of good for the day, which I've had.
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, you can get the hell out of my. You can get the hell. You can leave."
Yeah.
But actually, like I've had friends that I need their help, but they need my help more. Like back at Rowan, I don't know if you know this, but you probably do. You've probably seen it. I made a T-shirt with a picture of me on it.
I don't think I've seen this, no.
Okay, so it's a long story. It started out with a Christmas gift. So I made 30 shirts for my family. I did a photo shoot for my mom a year before, and the photo shoot was so dumb. It made it worked so perfectly. So I put a photo on a shirt, made 30 shirts for my dad's side of the family for Christmas. All my family, every family member was like, "What?" I was like, "Whatever." But so I had to go to somewhere in Howell to print them. Then I went to Rowan, and it was a club meeting for a film club, and we were at someone's. So it was after the film club, and we were at someone's house, and I was already smoking. I was high. I smoke. Deal with it. But so the kid that owned the house came up to me and was like, "Yeah, I need to talk to you about something." And I was like, "Sure." Plus, he was the president of the club, so I walked up, and he was like, so he introduced me to this girl, which I forget her name, but that is not really relevant. So he introduced me to a girl and was like, "I think we can help each other." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "She's from Puerto Rico. Do you remember the hurricane in Puerto Rico 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Hurricane Maria. So it destroyed Puerto Rico in several ways. So he was like, "I think we can use your shirt." Because I already made a shirt for him.
Yeah.
But he wanted to use my photo, my shirt as the fundraiser.
Yeah. My backpack just fell off the wall.
Okay.
So,
So he wanted to use my shirt for the fundraiser. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, we're gonna need to talk about this tomorrow because I'm really high. And he was like, yeah, sure. So we started doing that. We raised $2,229.
oh shit.
Sent it to Puerto Rico. And like just doing that with something I made was awesome.
Yeah.
But the story doesn't end with that. That's the thing with this shirt. That was like the build up to something amazing.
Yeah.
Then the tear down to the shirt. So it was a year later. I was in my room at school, and I get a text message from a friend of mine who is a cop, and he texted me a photo of the guy who owned the store.
Who made the shirt?
Yeah, got arrested. You want to guess why?
I don't know.
Sexual not sexual misconduct, but child pedophilia, more or less. Yeah. So at that point in time, I was like, oh. So I was already done with the fundraiser. So I was like, I guess I can't really make another shirt with it.
Yeah.
So I found the shirt again in the summer when it was my first summer doing stand up, and I took it to the Brighton bar, and I asked around to anyone who wanted the shirt. Vin took it. and then I went up on stage and told that story.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
Yeah, Vin has a thing for putting shirts with people's faces. He made that one for me.
And I was like, plus, I also copyrighted that photo.
Oh, all right.
So I paid $50 for nothing. So no one could use my likeness, but I don't know why they would.
Yeah,
but
you never know. But Connor, I'm so glad you came out. So glad we're able to do this finally.
Yeah.
But any last words? Anything you want to add?
No. Just have a nice day.
Yeah.
Be nice to each other.
Yeah, be nice and have a nice day.
Also, don't be like Ellen, but be nice.
Yeah. Yes. All right, play us out, Tim. Tim's kinda dumb. Let's help him get smart. It's time to teach Tim stuff. Thank you again for coming out.